Welcome back to our Charlottetown Islanders pregame show. Guesting with us, as always, the head coach and general manager of your Charlottetown Islanders, Jim Hulton, and our coaches interview. Jim, up on the road still here in northern Quebec. You make the trek to Rouyn-Noranda to take on the Huskies. Huskies off to a nice start this year. Very tough on home ice, 6-1-2, coming off a win last night. Before we get to that, let's talk about Thursday in Sherbrooke. Your team, a tough start. 4 goals in the first period. There was a good push in the third, but obviously need a better opening 20 here tonight to be successful.
Most definitely. One of the poorer periods that we've played all season. We just looked heavy-legged and spongy mentally, and turn way too many pucks over and give up way too many grade A chances, and then you're chasing the game, and lessons that have to be learned. We've been getting away with some, quite frankly, and we have to be much better for it. But we talked in the second intermission about just kind of reestablishing our game, even if we ran out of raceway for that game, but let's establish it for primarily tonight's game. Get that forecheck back, start playing the right way. I thought they responded and did a good job there, so we have to build on that as we head into today's game.
Yeah, certainly the third period was your best period, and Labe made some saves. You go to Rouen here tonight. Obviously, you have options with 3 players. Max Jardine back healthy as well. Antoine Provencher obviously missing, but some messages sent and a different look here tonight in Rouen.
Yeah, I think anytime you lose 6-2, if I've been on the other side of the coin when you're not in the lineup, when you see a team, it's one thing when your team's winning, but when your team's not playing well, and we didn't play well from top to bottom, so we are going to make some changes. As you alluded to, Max is healthy now with 4 overages, so Max is going to come in. Tyler Peddle will come out. A little bit of a numbers game there, not necessarily a reflection on how Tyler played, but I think we need the stability on the back end. We're going to take Boyeg and Goupil out. They've struggled of late, and they just need to hit the refresh button. And Channing McIsaac are 2 kids that have worked really hard to stay in game shape, and they deserve this opportunity. And I think it's a little bit of shock value for the team. We don't want to overreact to one loss by any stretch of the imagination, but I think when you have healthy bodies, you have to use them.
No, for sure. And Rouen team, you've seen them last night against Halifax. This is a team that went forward a couple years back. They're building around some young pieces. That rink, the Dave Keon Arena, is never an easy one to pull points out of.
It's not, and their teams are tailored, obviously, to play in this building. There's next to no neutral zone, so turnovers in the neutral zone are going to be really, really costly. They capitalized on a couple last night. They do a great job of coming at you with tenacity and speed, and then again tailored to the rink. There's a lot of net front battles. They scored 3-4 goals with net front traffic last night, so I think the box outs and the net fronts are going to be vital on both ends of the rink tonight.
Final Game 7 in Toronto for the Blue Jays. You've seen them last night. What's your thoughts as a Blue Jays fan, and a big one heading into Game 7?
Well, if you'd have told us at the start of the season, you're going to go to Game 7 and win the World Series, the entire country would have jumped on board, and I think that's what's going to happen. It's a heavyweight battle back and forth. They had their opportunities last night, but that's sports. It's hard to win 2 games in a row in this series. So I like the home team in Game 7 and can't wait to watch it.
All right, Jim, as always, thanks for this, and best of luck here this afternoon.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you.
That's Jim Hulton, the head coach and general manager of your Charlottetown Islanders, and our coaches interview. We'll be back on the other side of the break with our Jameson Electric starting lineup. You're listening to Mr. Lubin Tire, Charlottetown Islanders hockey on Max 93.1. Welcome back to our first intermission. Our Fundy Agriculture Services first intermission guest, associate coach and assistant GM of the Charlottetown Islanders, Girouard, joining us here in our first intermission. Guy, looking for a bounce-back effort here this afternoon, late this evening in Rouyn-Noranda. First, before we get to that, talk about the game in Sherbrooke. The regular season, it's been a tough place to win in Sherbrooke. Of course, a few years back, you won to get to the finals, but a tough start on Thursday night and really behind the 8 ball and tough to dig out after being down 4-1 after 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, I think maybe we were humbled a little bit, maybe thought things were going to be easy, maybe the guys weren't as focused. So sometimes, as much as we hate to lose, it kind of resets the focus on the team. And you could sense it yesterday on the bus right here up north that the guys were, I think they realized that what they did, and they were refocused and ready to go.
It's been a terrific start to the season. This time last year was almost an opposite record. I think there was 3 wins at Christmas time, or rather Halloween time. It's tough to win them all in this league. It's good competition each and every night. But talk about the start for your team: 11-2-1, 11-3-2-1, I should say, out of the gate. And things have been going relatively smoothly here since training camp.
They have, and we've been getting some timely saves and timely goals just to kind of change the momentum in games. And we have a really clique bunch that never say die attitude, right? They just keep fucking what the score is. We battled back on Thursday night, but it was just a little bit too little too late there. So I think it's good. But, as a coaching staff, we always look at all the numbers and all the stats, and, numbers kind of show that we've been kind of getting away with some less than stellar performances. So, it's a good way for us that we had some good practices here. We'll have another week of practice coming up here. So good time to refocus, reset the systems, and get ready to go for the run.
And it's a developmental league here, right? And you have some healthy bodies, and especially on the back end, you run the defense. And Daniel Chen and Aiden McIsaac, along with Max Jardine, all sub in here this evening. A bit of a shakeup, but I mean, guys have to play here at the same time. And for Boyaga and Goupil, they've been playing big minutes, and a chance for them to reset here and get focused here once again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Max just brings an element that we don't have on our team. He's such a leader, such a hard worker, heart and soul guy. So it's always good to welcome him back after his injury. And then, as far as Google and Boyaga, sometimes, as a young guy, it's good to take a step back and watch the game from ends and get a different perspective. And, they need to reset here. They had a bad night the other night, and it's been kind of sliding a little bit. So it's a good way to send a message. And, it's not that we're giving up on those guys. It's a tough schedule, and we do have to try to get everybody in. So that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah, certainly. Brady Peddle, I talked to him here in the second intermission this morning. He's thrilled to be in Charlottetown playing with his brother. NHL pedigree, third-round draft pick. He's come in. He's provided a physical presence on your back end. What have you seen from him? He says he's trying to work on moving the puck quicker. That's every young defenseman. I mean, you played pro for many, many years. What have you seen from him and what he brings to the team?
He's been a welcome addition for sure on the back end. Like you said, he brings a physical presence. Guys, I'm sure if a player looks up and they don't want to put the puck in his corner because they're going to have to work hard and probably get punished physically. So he's been good like that. And he's been given a mandate from Pittsburgh and what to work in his game. And like you said earlier, it's a development league. So we're trying to accommodate and work with that, within our structure. But what we want from Brady is exactly what Pittsburgh wants. So the only time he gets in trouble is when he thinks he's a bit of a more of a skilled offensive guy. He has some of that, but he's got to play it within reason. And realistically, at the next level, he's going to be that shutdown D. So that's kind of what he has to master, and that's going to be his craft.
Yeah, certainly. And a shutdown D, obviously a big move a couple of weeks back for Dylan McKinnon. You've coached against him here for 4 years. What is there anything about his game that has kind of surprised you maybe a little bit since coming to Charlottetown?
Oh, not really. Like, we had seen him so much being in the same division, and we had talked to Brad McKenzie about him, and he had nothing but good things to say about him. So I think, as a wily veteran, he came in and kind of assessed the situation, kind of stayed back and read the room and read the team, and now he started to take a bigger step, he has a bigger voice in the dressing room. So, it's going to be a welcome addition for sure. He's got a winning pedigree. He's been there. He knows what it takes. So he's going to be a great resource for our younger guys.
Yeah, this is kind of a homecoming, as close to your old hometown as it gets in Kapuskasing, Ontario. Rouyn-Noranda, a rich hockey history. A lot of great hockey players have come out of that area. What are your thoughts on this afternoon's game?
Yeah, it's always exciting for me because I usually get friends and family that come down. It's about 3 hours from my hometown. So I just ran into a guy from Kapuskasing in the restaurant this morning. So it's always nice to be closer to home. This is a rink that I used to come to Rouyn-Noranda hockey schools as a kid here. So I have some great memories from this town and this rink. And this rink has a lot of tradition. You can tell you're in an old hockey barn. So it's easy for the players to get excited. And they usually have a good rowdy crowd on Saturday night. So we're looking forward to that.
All right, Guy, as always, thanks for your time. Best of luck here tonight, and go Jays, go.
Exactly. Thanks.
That's Guy Girouard, the associate coach and assistant GM of the Charlottetown Islanders, joining us in our first intermission. We'll be back on the other side of the break with our Murphy's Pharmacy out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to Mr. Lubin Tire, Charlottetown Islanders hockey on Max 93.1. Welcome back to our second intermission. Guesting with us, our Fundy Agriculture Services second intermission guest, Islanders 18-year-old defenseman Brady Peddle in our second intermission. And Brady, joking off the phone here, I scout with the Islanders. And the last time I talked to you over the phone was about 3 years ago. You were just getting back from class down in Bishop Kearney, dissecting a frog. And here you are getting set to put the Islanders jersey on and take on Rouyn-Noranda here this afternoon. It's a crazy way things work in the circle of hockey.
Yeah, it's been unreal. It's been unreal 3 years. Like, time at PK was great. pretty fired up to be there in Charlottetown. Hopefully come back after a bad loss against Sherb. Get into the home, so.
For yourself, obviously you had lots of options. You went stateside before coming back into the queue. Take us through that process and how big it is now that players can come to the CHL and still pursue their dreams of NCAA.
Yeah, I mean it's game changing. Like you said, I was in the States for the past 3 years. Wanting to go to college route. Then when that rule opened up, it kind of changed everything. Being able to play close to home, play with my brother, and play for a great team. I mean, it's everything you can want. So it was a no-brainer for me.
Brady Peddle joining us here in our second intermission. You mentioned playing with your brother. I talked to Tyler earlier this week. It's hard to believe you two never played on a team. I know the age gap, but yourself being an elite defenseman. But what has it been like playing, living with your brother, and being on the ice with him here every day?
Yeah, it's been unreal, actually. I'm super grateful to have the opportunity, not many people get to do this. And I'm grateful and blessed to be able to do it. So, I mean, just wake up every day and kind of enjoy it. So, yeah.
When you found out about the trade to Charlottetown, what was your initial reaction?
I was kind of surprised, but also happy because I knew what type of coach Jim was and that type of organization. So, yeah.
The USHL, you played in it last year as a 17-year-old. Not an easy league for a young guy. What are some of the differences or similarities between the Q and the USHL? Because not many fans up here know what type of hockey that is down there.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities, and a couple of differences. I'd say the main similarities are it's all fast paced. It's kind of similar. It's similar hockey, like fast paced, kind of move the puck quick. But I'd say the Q is kind of more skilled. And a little bit faster, and then I'd say the USHL is kind of more physical and gritty. So,
Brady Peddle joining us here at our second intermission. This summer was a big one for yourself and your family. Drafted in the third round to the Pittsburgh Penguins, 91st overall. Did you have any inclination going in that maybe Pittsburgh? And just kind of take us through that whole process and the draft day itself.
yeah. I mean, I kind of had a hunch. It was at Pittsburgh, or a couple other teams, just based off kind of my combine interviews. And kind of where they had me, but you still never know. So I mean, it was unreal to hear my name called. It was great. It didn't feel real for the first couple weeks, to be honest. But then I mean, it's a dream come true, and every little kid dreams of it. So I'm super grateful to be drafted by such a great organization. So
what was the feedback from Pittsburgh with the rookie camp and in the fall camp?
they said all good things. Said I played my game well, and just keep working on little things and go from there.
What are some of the things you're trying to work on that develop your game to get to the pro ranks here in Charlottetown this year?
Yeah, I'd say kind of moving the puck quicker, like I said before. A little bit of kind of my first 3 strides, kind of that explosiveness, getting up the ice and stuff like that. So
the back end is a strong one here in Charlottetown, and you would have grown up playing against Owen Conrad all the way up and through. I know he played Canada games along with probably the Nova Scotia elite program. What's it like playing with him junior hockey here right now?
Yeah. I grew up playing against Owen. Grew up playing against him, then played with him at Canada games, like you said. But he's a great player. It's nice to finally have him on the team. So yeah.
What about the success? Final question here that the Islanders have had out of the gate. You and your brother are a big part of it. I mean, obviously coming off, you're not going to win them all. Obviously coming off a tough loss in Sherbrooke. The success, though, early on, there's a different feel in the dressing room this year. And, you're getting every team's best effort each and every night.
Yeah. I think we're playing for each other, to be honest. I think we're buying into our systems early. And I think we kind of got some confidence and some swagger. I think we're kind of playing with that. And we're trying to get back to that. Today, like I said in the rant, but yeah.
All right, Brady, listen, I really appreciate you taking your time and joining us here this afternoon. It's great to have you and your brother here on the island. Looking forward to a big year. Best of luck here this afternoon and the rest of the year.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
That's Brady Peddle of the Charlottetown Islanders joining us here in our second intermission. We'll be back on the other side of the break with our Murphy's Pharmacy out of town scoreboard. You're listening to Mr. Lubin Tire, Charlottetown Islanders Hockey on Max 93.1.